Hey guys, on this episode of BadgePass Bytes, we're going to be looking at DataSync. If you're not familiar with DataSync, it is our tool that we use to take data from one database, like an HR system, a payroll system, a student information system, and bring that information into BadgePass. So what I'm going to show you today is how we do a simple flat file import using a text file. So this is going to be a one-time import, but just know that DataSync's insanely powerful. It can do things like ODBC connections, connect directly to SQL tables, and lots more. Today's gonna be very simple. So let's go ahead and start the walkthrough. So as you see on the right here, we have DataSync. This is our main configuration screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a profile. We're gonna click this plus button, which is gonna bring up our new configuration screen. So we're gonna type in a name. We'll call this test data. And then we can select our source type. So again, as I mentioned, we're doing a flat file. So we're going to select file. So the first step is we need to select a monitor folder. So I'm going to browse out. I'm going to go to my desktop here, select test data. And then we also need to select the file itself. So we're going to browse out again. And you'll notice I have my test file already here. So we're going to double click that. And then we can click show data. Now what this is going to do is show you what the data looks like. So you can see I have some headers here, ID number, first name, last name. Everything looks good. Everything looks like it's formatted well. So we should be good to move forward. So now we'll click add data. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull it over here to our source fields. Okay, so this is the source data, the fields that are in that source data. So now we actually need to map it to BadgePass. So I'm going to select my drop-down list here, and we're going to select our entity. We're importing in employees. So we're going to go ahead and select employee, and then we'll select the add button here at the bottom. Now, like I mentioned, DataSync is insanely powerful, so there's lots of different ways we can do this, but we're just doing a standard, simple import. So we're going to click standard fields right now, click add. And you'll notice all of our standard fields appear. Standard fields will be like first name, last name, ID number, address, things like that. So I'm going to go from here. I'm just going to map the fields. So you'll see on my left-hand side, we have ID num. That is our ID number. We're going to map that to ID number in BadgePass. So we'll highlight both of these, press the blue map button, and it will show that it is now mapped. Now, DataSync is unique in the fact that we really need a few different criteria to import in data, namely first name, last name, either ID number or date of birth. So we need either ID number or date of birth to be our unique identifier, or our index field. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on index field. So we'll turn that on, showing that ID number is going to be our unique identifier. And then from here, it's just a mapping game. So we'll go first name to first name, map, last name to last name, map, and we'll do status. So status is going to be like active or inactive. You can obviously import them all to be active and by selecting this drop-down list as well. And then we'll also do employee type. So you could do multiple imports if you wanted to, like one for administrator, one for full-time, one for teacher, one for freshman, however you want to do that. Or if it's in your source data, you could just map the field there and it would tie those together. The last thing you want to make sure you map is state. So state, it refers to one of our other products with Visitor Manager and Access Control with the on-site list. Are they on-site or are they off-site? So we're going to say they're actually checked out, so they're not there. Now, once you have all your fields mapped, you then need to go up to the top right-hand corner, press the save icon. It will then save the record, add it to your profiles, and then you can manually run it. You also have the option to add schedules down here. This is great if you're going to do something like an ODBC connection. You want to monitor it once an hour, once a day, every night at midnight, something like that. Or you can also have it set up where you do an import on presence. So when that file hits the folder, import the data into the system. But right now, I'm just going to click the run sign. We'll have a little green progress bar, which will then show it running. Looks like it ran successfully, so we're good to go. So now we're going to pull up Identity Manager. Now, one of our people there was Indiana Jones. So let's go ahead and search for Indiana. So we're going to search for that, and you'll notice he now appears, and he has the full-time designation. So now all we have to do is capture a photo. So that's a really simple data sync, very simple, very easy. Obviously, the data can be a lot more complex, but feel free to give us a call if you have any additional questions or if we need to dive into data sync a little further. But this is your episode of BadgePass Bytes. Thanks for hopping on, guys.